There's a particular kind of stillness that settles into a room when your dog finally curls up at your feet, not on the couch beside you, not in their bed across the room. Right there, pressed against your ankles, their weight warm and certain, their breathing slow and deep. It happens in millions of homes every single evening, so quietly that most people barely notice it anymore. You reach for your book, or you lean back into the cushions, and somewhere below you, your dog has made a decision. But have you ever stopped to wonder what that decision actually means? Because it turns out this small, ordinary moment is carrying a message far older and far more profound than most of us ever realize. Thousands of years before dogs had names or warm beds, their ancestors survived by choosing their sleeping positions with extraordinary care. In a wolf pack, where you slept wasn't accidental, it was a declaration. Sleeping exposed, alone, or at a distance from the group was dangerous. Vulnerability in sleep was a liability, and every animal understood that instinctively. The safest place to rest was close to the pack's most trusted members. Not just any members, the ones whose presence signaled certainty, the ones whose scent meant safety, whose proximity meant that when eyes closed and awareness dimmed, something watchful remained. That primal calculus, who do I trust enough to sleep near, became hardwired deep into the canine nervous system over thousands of years. And when dogs moved out of the wilderness and into our homes, when the campfires became living rooms and the pack became a family, that ancient code didn't disappear. It just redirected. The instinct remained intact. Only the target of that instinct changed, and the target became you. If your dog presses their body against your feet with that certain settled weight, the kind where you can feel them breathing, where shifting position means disturbing them, here's what's quietly unfolding beneath the surface. Your feet are your lowest point of contact with the ground. They represent, to your dog, the physical anchor of your presence. There's research suggesting that dogs are exquisitely attuned to the rhythm of their person's movements, and your feet are the earliest signal of any change. A shift in weight, a preparing to stand, a restlessness before you leave. By resting there, your dog places themselves at the center of your body's early warning system, not anxiously, but watchfully, the way a good companion does. You might think this closeness is about neediness or an inability to self-soothe, but it's actually something closer to guardianship. Your dog has stationed themselves where they can monitor, respond, and remain connected, all while appearing to simply be resting. That's not clinginess, that's attunement. Then there's the dog who doesn't press close, but positions themselves just at the edge of your reach, perhaps at the foot of the couch rather than against it, or a foot away from your chair rather than underneath it. This variation speaks to a slightly different psychological layer. These dogs are often the quiet, self-possessed ones, the ones who seem to need less reassurance but never stray far. What they're doing is establishing a perimeter. They are close enough to respond, aware enough to monitor, but settled enough in the relationship that they don't require constant physical confirmation. Researchers studying canine proximity behaviors describe this as confident attachment, a pattern that mirrors what developmental psychologists call secure base behavior in human children. The securely attached child can play freely because they trust the caregiver is there. They don't need to be touching, they just need to know. Your perimeter sleeper is expressing exactly that kind of deep, unshakable trust. But here's where it gets really interesting. Some dogs don't just settle at your feet in one spot. They follow your feet from room to room, resettling each time you move, finding your feet again in the kitchen, in the hallway, in the bedroom before sleep. This behavior sometimes puzzles owners, who wonder whether their dog is bored, anxious, or simply incapable of relaxing. What's actually happening is something much more touching. Your dog isn't unsettled. Your dog is choosing you, repeatedly, every time the equation resets. Every new room is a new decision point, and every time, they arrive back at the same answer. This pattern also tells you something about how your dog experiences time and space when you're together. For them, home isn't a building. Home is wherever you are. The room changes, the feeling doesn't. And then, if you've ever woken at 2 in the morning to find your dog has migrated from their bed to the floor beside yours, pressed lightly against your feet, you've witnessed something particularly significant. Dogs who seek foot contact during actual sleep when their guard is lowest are exhibiting the fullest possible expressions of vulnerability and trust. Sleep is when the nervous system drops its vigilance. For your dog to choose that moment to move closer, not away, speaks to a level of safety that goes beyond habit or training. It is biological, it is ancient, and it is, in the quietest way imaginable, a declaration. What sleeping at your feet actually reveals is something that takes a dog a long time to arrive at. Trust in the canine nervous system isn't given quickly. It's built through repetitions of safety, through mornings that started the same way, through voices that never frightened, through returns that always happened. A dog who sleeps at your feet has run thousands of these small calculations and arrived, again and again, at the same conclusion. This person is safe. This presence is certain. This is where I rest. Now there's something most owners don't realize about this. When your dog sleeps at your feet, they aren't simply near you. They are choosing to be vulnerable near you, which is a different thing entirely. Vulnerability in sleep is the deepest signal in the canine emotional vocabulary. It means that in their body, not just their behavior, but their actual physiology, they are at peace. Studies have shown that a dog's heart rate measurably slows during physical proximity to their bonded person. Researchers call this co-regulation, the same mechanism that operates between a parent and a sleeping infant, or between two people who have shared a home for decades. Your dog's nervous system and yours have, over time, learned to settle each other. That weight at your feet isn't just warmth, it's synchrony. And here's what deserves to land fully. You made that possible. Not through any single action, but through the accumulated weight of your presence, your consistency, your safety. When your dog presses against your feet and closes their eyes, they are telling you, in the most physiologically honest way a living creature can, that you are their still point, their certainty in an uncertain world. You did that. And this is the part that surprised researchers. The benefits of this behavior flow in both directions. Studies examining the human side of this exchange have found that the presence of a dog's physical contact measurably reduces cortisol levels in their person. Heart rate drops, breathing slows. The same co-regulation your dog is seeking from you, you are receiving from them, whether you notice it or not. There's a reason so many people describe the moment their dog settles at their feet as the moment they finally feel like the day is over. Not because of anything that changed externally, but because something in their nervous system recognized a signal it had come to associate with rest. This is what researchers mean when they describe the dog-human relationship as co-evolved. Over thousands of years, these two species learned to be each other's comfort objects, each other's slow-down signal. Your dog isn't just expressing trust when they rest at your feet, they are actively, biologically helping you rest too. That's not a small thing, that's a partnership written into the body itself. So what is your dog telling you when they bypass the couch, the plush bed across the room, the soft rug by the window, and choose the floor at your feet? They are telling you that you are safe, that you are known, that out of every possible place in the world they could rest, they have calculated, in the oldest, most honest language they possess, that you are the answer. They are telling you that you are their home base, their anchor point in a world that is otherwise full of uncertainty and noise, the place where their breathing slows and their muscles release and the ancient, restless vigilance of their species finally, completely quiets. They are telling you, in the oldest and quietest language they have, that they choose you. After a long day, when everything else feels unresolved and the world is still asking things of you, there is a small, warm weight at your feet that has already decided. No conditions, no hesitation. Just presence, offered freely, the way it has been offered for 10,000 years. That's worth noticing, every single time. Thanks for watching. If you loved learning about your furry best friend, be sure to like and subscribe for more.